What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. And I have to tell you, I'm at a loss for why fans are celebrating Steph Curry's 60-point performance last night. And when I say celebrate, let me be clear about what I mean. Because I gotta be clear about this. I'm not talking about uh, enthusiastically admiring his individual performance. If you're a fan of his, it was a great individual performance. That's one thing. It's another when you, and I see a lot of fans are doing this, are, chirping about this, calling him the GOAT, saying he's the best point guard of all time, Magic Johnson could never do this, etc., etc., etc. And you're completely ignoring the fact that they lost the game. And that last night was an indication that, a bigger indication, I should say, that the Warriors are seriously in trouble. See, I remember before the Dynasty years, Curry would have a lot of these 50-plus point outbursts, even 40 point. And more often than not, the Warriors lost. And why? Because Curry wasn't getting a lot of help, especially after they traded, what was his name? Monte Ellis. After they traded Monte Ellis, Klay, sometimes didn't always have a great game coinciding with Steph Curry. When both of those guys are going, the Warriors are unbeatable, at least in Klay's prime. But anyway, this reminds me more of the early years because during the Dynasty years, when Steph had a game like this, the Warriors often won in blowouts. During the Dynasty years, when Steph had a 50 or 60 point game, they won in blowouts. So that when you look at the fact that he's having more and more of these performances where they're losing, is an indication that this team is in trouble. So last night, I believe the final score was 141-134 Atlanta over the Warriors in overtime. And if I'm not mistaken, I think both teams were playing on the end of a back-to-back. So you can't say one team had an advantage in that department. Steph was 22 of 38 from the floor, so he shot very well. He was 10 of 23 from downtown. So, normally, man, I don't condone a guy taking 23 three-pointers, but the only guy to get away with that right now in the NBA, in my opinion, is Steph Curry. He nailed 10 of them, and 6 for 6 from the line. Other than him, he didn't get a lot of offensive help. I think Klay had maybe 14 points. I remember seeing he shot 4 of 19 from the floor, 2 of 13 from downtown. So he had another one of those games when he just couldn't get it going. And one of the problems I'm seeing with Klay, man, and I'm not talking about, Klay from a historical standpoint, I'm talking about Klay Thompson now, is he's just having problems in one-on-one situations getting shots off, man. That's just my observation, like, from what I've seen him play this year and in recent years. The Klay Thompson of old, I thought had the quickest how can I say this? He was the quickest to the three-point line on a catch-and-shoot situation I've ever seen. Didn't have the quickest release, but man, before the injuries, Klay would catch it and instinctively, through repetition, know where that three-point line was and would get that shot before the defense could seriously contest that shot. But see, stuff like that is that split-second timing that you need between success and failure. So like how Muhammad Ali in his prime You know what I'm saying? He had those split-second reflexes, which allowed him to keep his hands low. Or even more so, a Roy Jones, whose athletic ability allowed him to dodge some dangerous punches. But once they lost that, Ali was able to adjust a bit, even though he accumulated damage that started showing itself towards the end. Roy was never the same. Klay, I think, has some of those same issues. These injuries have taken away just enough of quickness and reaction time from him. But when I say reaction time, I mean his body reacting to things his mind is seeing, that it's affecting his shot. That's just my observation for watching him. Like I said, I haven't watched him enough, or as much, I should say, as Golden State Warriors fans. Maybe they have a different view of it. Andrew Wiggins, once again, didn't give him anything. Wiggins has not been the same since whatever the hell ailed him last year that caused him to miss all those games. I don't know. He hasn't been the same. Draymond you never can depend on him for anything offensively. And I think Kuminga had 16. So that's the most help he had. Steph Curry just didn't have any help last night at all. So what are the Warriors now anyway? I know for a while they were flirting with 500, but I think they're quite a few games under that now. Let's see. Let's look at their record. I can't believe this is the Warriors, man. I mean, it's just that the Warriors in the past would have just beaten the hell out of this team, man. You know what I mean? Let's see. Yeah, they're 21-25. 457 win percentage, so they're on pace to go like what, 37-45 or something? 38-44, 37-45, I'd say, yeah. 36-46, yeah. This isn't the Warriors, yo. They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something, man. They're gonna have to make some type of moves. Not Steph, but I'm telling you, man, I think something big is coming, man. I see something big on the horizon as far as a trade, and I think it's going to be some unpopular trades. But something's coming. I don't know. Either it's going to come before the trade deadline or it's going to come during the off season. But something's coming. But anyway, tell me what you guys think, especially Warriors fans.